he said, action, action, action.
Do your dance pose.
Dance pose?
Yes, the one you were doing earlier. What the? What is? Hi. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome
And
to
welcome.
Open Bar,
We're glad you're here.
everybody, where we have taboo talk straight up and on the rocks. And I was just now ignoring my husband. I'm Beth Robb, your host.
And
I
I'm
was.
Jay Robb, the co-host of her show,
You
Open
are the
Bar.
co-host, yes.
And I'm
you're the best co-host ever.
the guru of peace also. Better known as the GOP. If you follow my music, my album,
Yeah.
my songs, the GOP, music video, everything else,
You're the best music.
I'm the GOP.
Yep.
Anyway, we're glad you're here. Thank you for being
glad
here.
you're here. And guess what, you guys?
Uh-oh.
It's getting close to the holidays.
Ooh.
And today's topic is perfect for that.
Yeah?
Yep. And today's topic is, are Americans obsessed with dieting? And the reason I bring that up at the holidays is because how many times do you go to places like different, holiday parties or open houses or whatever, or even at home, like it's the holidays, you make your little cookies and stuff like that. Are you so, and I say obsessed, that you can't even enjoy the Christmas cookies or the cocoa or whatever it is, like even the cheese ball, I don't care. Some of the,
Right.
what do you call those, decadent foods, right?
Decadent foods,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
Adulterated foods.
But is America obsessed with dieting? And I think it's pertinent, especially during the holidays, because I think, people do struggle with that. So what say you, Mr. Robb?
What say me? What say me? Well, this is this is a wonderful topic for me because I've pretty much dedicated the last 40 plus years of my life to understanding not just nutrition, but the composition of foods and how they affect human beings and how they how they affect our performance in life, thinking, behaving, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. Foods are horrendous to humans because we have to eat every day. We don't have to eat every day, but we eat every day. We eat and drink something every day. And what we eat and drink affects us mentally and physically and eventually
yeah, for sure.
spiritually. And so we have to remain, pretty much toxic free, or at least as best our body can detoxify whatever we give it. It has no choice. You stick it in your mouth and swallow it, your body goes, thanks a lot. Or thank you. It's going to be one or two ways. What are you doing? Hey, we don't want this today.
Right.
So is America obsessed with dieting is the question, correct?
Yes.
Is America obsessed with dieting? That's a great question, and I think that's a double-edged sword. I think on one hand, America at one time was obsessed with dieting. I do. I think everybody was on a diet and doing something. I think there was a period of probably
Like the
from
80s?
1960s, 70s, and 80s where it was huge. Maybe even into the 90s.
100%.
By the time
the
we hit
90s.
around 2000, I think things started unraveling a little bit, and people said, you know what, maybe we need to rethink this or something. But I think again that when you think about dieting, I think there's a premise that dieting means losing weight.
That is what
I'm
people
dieting.
think.
So when somebody
Yeah.
says I'm dieting or I'm on a diet,
They think they're there to lose
think
weight.
it's for weight loss. Well,
Yes.
also you can be on a diet, which is in my case because most of my life I was always wanting to see what I could discover. If I eat a certain way, I go on a diet. Obviously, I mean, I like to stay lean and so on and fit, whatever. But also, I go on a diet to make sure that I maintain, perfect eyesight, perfect poops, that my blood pressure's fine, that I have the energy I need, that I'm healthy, I'm happy, moods are good. So I find going on a diet is for enhancing performance, enhancing my well-being, enhancing my happiness even, or even my spirituality. If I can eat a certain way and meditate better, well, of course, why wouldn't I want to keep doing that?
So it's your lifestyle, is what you're
So
saying.
Well, a
It's not
diet.
necessarily to lose weight. It's just
Yeah,
to
it's to
enhance
stay.
your lifestyle.
It's to stay leaner, healthier, and happier. So it becomes a
Okay.
lifestyle. But
Yeah.
I think what also that I want to say on this is that is America obsessed with dieting? I don't think so. I don't think.
Oh.
I think people think they're obsessed with it. I don't think it's as important as you would think. I think a certain percentage of the population will watch what they eat, will pay attention, will do what they need to do, and so on. But I think that for the majority, they don't, because statistics keep showing as a nation, we keep getting fatter by the year. I mean, it's amazing what has happened since, the probably 1980 or late 70s, the changes in the composition of body fat in Americans.
Oh, but don't you think that's due to a lot the composition of foods?
It can be. I mean, I think, foods are engineered now a lot of times to
know.
make us over, especially fast food. But if you make things at home, no, there's no addictive properties to real food.
Because
Period. Even sugar.
I have a friend from high school, elementary school, all the way through high school. She now lives in Portugal
Okay.
with her husband. They just retired and decided, let's go live our lives.
To Portugal.
I
Okay.
know, and they're like living their best life. It's really fun to watch. It really, really is. And she just, not even trying, just by living there, has dropped all this weight. And she attributes it to the food. Because she says, oh my
You
gosh.
mean real
like-
food?
Yes. And she says, I did not, she goes, I'd always heard, and and she's like a little world traveler. This is not like something new to her to travel somewhere else. But I think to live there, I think this was like a deal. And she's like, you know what? We had no idea the effect it was having. And she just naturally just dropped weight, and they eat all the time. Like, she posts about food all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I want to I just want your life for a day. Like, where are you finding this food? And they just go to the market. Like, it's amazing. And so I feel like it definitely has affected that.
Well, I think what I've discovered in my 40 years of research and really looking at the food habits of the world is that America is really a horrible place to try to find good food. I mean, we have to really pay attention.
Oh
We
my
really have to
gosh.
search for it. We really have to
Yes.
find the farmers markets. We have to find. I mean, we just can't. You just can't go to the grocery store and trust the grocery store anymore.
I don't even trust the farmers markets. Like, I research these, it's a little,
They just resell
feel
something
it-
out of a box.
no, not necessarily, but a lot of times when people say they're not using pesticides and, other things, it's like they are. So, you really, and they're shady about how they word things. And especially in the grocery stores, I feel like, and even the health food store, like, you got to be careful. You've got to do your own research.
Yeah, and just so, as a disclaimer, we're not poo-pooing, and saying they're all that way or something. We're,
Not at
we're
all.
discovering.
Not at all.
We're discovering every place you buy food has its place of taintedness.
You just have to do your own homework, because don't just trust someone else's, word
Well,
for it.
okay,
But
so-
I
and
do
so-
think, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
go
so
ahead.
my thought was this: that always, as I looked at food, and why is America? Why is everything such a struggle here to get good food? Because I realize in Europe, not necessarily now, I think it's changed, but before, the things that we could use, put on food, and herbicides, pesticides, and all these different fertilizers and things we use were banned in Europe. So European
Yes.
countries would not have anything to do with those.
Yeah.
And kind of like certain drugs and so on in America, or even like the drug commercial and so on. Europe says, we don't want to have anything to do with this. But America is like the Las Vegas of the world. You can,
Yeah. They do a lot of the same drugs, though. Unfortunately, their pharmaceutical
everything's,
situations
yeah,
a
but
lot
everything's,
like ours.
things
But
have changed now. But you go back, 30 years, and you go to other countries, and they
Yeah.
were eating their traditional foods. You didn't go to China or Japan, and they were
Oh,
we're going to
100%.
eat Mexican tonight. They weren't
No.
like, oh, let's go. We're in Portugal. Well, let's eat pizza because that's what they eat in Italy. But we're Portugal. No, they ate traditional foods to where they were, and I realized that was a secret. There was nothing more
Yes.
to it.
Yes.
Nothing more to it.
No, I can see that.
So we in America, because we sadly have given up our ability to farm on our own little plots of land. We back in, what, 120 years ago, half the people in America worked or lived on a farm. Half. Now there's like 2%. It's like ridiculous.
No,
We don't have a connection with food anymore. That's the only way we're going to go back to that. You can only do that with your own food sources at home.
No, my grandpa was a farmer, so I know.
Yeah, my dad, who that? My great grandparents or something. They
yeah,
had a farm too.
yeah.
So
But okay, so you touched on something though that I really wanted to talk about, because you said, I think people think they're obsessed with dieting, but they're not.
they think they're dieting because they're buying
But
all
they
the
think
diet
they're
foods they're
dieting.
sold. Like, oh, this is a diet food here.
Okay. See, and I think that they think they're, okay, I think they are actually dieting, but I think they're, looking for love in all the wrong places. Like, I feel like, because I've been that person all the time, where you go down a road, more in the extreme world, like, oh, let me try this, and we'll eliminate all these things. And, and I don't know, I don't want to pick on keto, but like, I tried the high carb, remember the Susan powder, Stop the Insanity?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was like such a huge thing.
What was that,
I
1981
lost
or
all
something?
this weight on that. But you know what, like, it's like, look, that's insanity. All these things are insanity. Like, you know what works is having a balance of real whole foods. And if you do need to lose weight, maybe do more movement and eat less. And that was always my thing. I'm fully aware I was eating like a lot, but I think the reason people feel like or that it seems like people are obsessed with it is because they're not getting the results. And so therefore they just keep hopping from diet to diet to diet.
Okay, I think
and then they
go
become
ahead.
then they become insulin resistant, like I did. So then, I went on semaglutide, and that did help that, but that's not a lifelong thing. Like my doctor said, look, this is a crutch while you're insulin resistant to get to this point. Then you're on your own, girl. Like, you got to figure this whole your portion situation and your movement thing out while this crutch is kind of helping you while you're healing your ankle, so to speak. And then that's when, okay, now you're going along in the right way. And I know how to do it, but it's hard.
Well, it's a challenge in our society because our society is I would say, not obsessed with dieting.
Yeah.
I think we're obsessed with food because it's so readily available. I mean, where else in the world can you go into a supermarket and find 80 million, or excuse me, I'll be more accurate, 38,000 different items under one roof?
Oh, yeah.
It's not all food items, but let's just say 20,000 food items. And are they really food?
I know.
I don't think they're really food, because
No.
if you just went to the produce section outside parameters, there's not that many items. I mean, there's not that many different foods you can eat. The other thing that we've lost touch with is being keen to our own ancestors' diets, because I think we need to eat very close to what our parents and their parents and so on had eaten and evolved on. Once we get plucked up and thrown into a melting pot called America, now what? We're eating Chinese on Monday and Japanese on Tuesday and Italian on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it just goes, what, really? And then French and then whatever. And then American and whatever that is. And so we're eating a variety
We
of
do
crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Most
we-
people
I
do that
get
though.
it.
They go, well,
Because
you
we
don't want
love
to just,
all food.
we
We're
had,
like, oh my gosh, let's have
well,
this.
this is our family. You go, well, we had Mexican yesterday. And we should have Mexican today.
I
And we
don't
should
know
have
why you
Mexican
put,
tomorrow.
I don't know
and
why
should
you put
Mexican
me.
the next day.
I don't know why you
And the
put me
next-
in
and-
that category.
Because I always, she says, what do you want to eat? And I go, well,
Oh
tacos. What else would I
my
want to eat?
Gosh, okay.
Tacos. If she asked me right now, ask me, what do I want to eat?
For dinner tonight?
Tacos. See?
Yes.
How easy can I be? And I can say, even easier, just a little taco bar. That's it. There's nothing more.
Yeah.
So
But I don't know why you act like I don't want the same thing.
because
I
you
don't
don't
know
fix
why
it. You don't fix tacos every night.
Because there's other people in the house.
Well, they can just fix their own
besides
stuff.
us. No, and I know that. But
Sorry.
like I'm
Mexican
I'm
is
a Libra.
Mexican is the
I like a
only
little
way
balance.
to eat. I'm sorry. What?
well, that is okay. I don't try to spin this
Hey,
in your
hey.
favor. Hey, 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 hey. Okay.
Okay, but anyway,
So what do you think the answer is? In a
Mexican
short-
food every
in
night.
a short period of time.
If we all just ate Mexican food every night, don't you think tacos and enchiladas would
A million-
just solve the problems of our?
1,000,000%.
Look, I mean, come on, it's just so simple. People can't see it. In my new book coming out, Tacos for All, is going to be out soon, so that's going to be fun.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
a quiet, awkward, quiet time.
See what it does when you turn and you just think about having Mexican food every day. It's like,
I don't know where you're
it's just so
going.
relaxing.
It is relaxing.
No.
So,
But
so,
but if you ate
So
my
you
point
think
is if
stick
you ate
with
traditional
real-
if you ate
real
your traditional
food.
foods of your ancestors,
I agree.
that's how simple it is. You don't think of, oh well, let's mix it up or we got to be this way. No, I think that's where we get into trouble in America.
Okay.
We're a melting pot, but it shouldn't apply to our foods. We should find a simple system that our family thrives on and kind of stick with it.
Yeah, I
Instead
agree.
instead of trying to say, oh, let's just be the most varied dietary family in the world. And that's what America does. And I think it's a mistake. And I think we're obsessed with food, not dieting.
Yeah. I agree.
You
Well,
do?
I've been trying
She
to.
agrees.
I know. I
Don't you
usually
just
agree
love
with
this?
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look,
You're
look,
welcome.
Wait a minute. And when she says that, I agree. When she says it, notice how pretty she is.
Oh, when she says I
Hey,
agree.
look at her face just glows with
my
appreciation. I mean, look at this
Appreciate.
appreciation that I'm just here.
So do you? This is off the subject, but not really. But we were talking about the
Uh-oh.
holidays. Do you remember?
yeah,
What was
holidays.
it like last year or 2 years ago when we went to the North Pole to get our Christmas tree, where we always go in Juno Beach,
Oh yeah.
and we always take a picture by the car with the
Oh, yeah,
Christmas
with
tree.
the
It's
Christmas
our
tree.
annual
Yeah,
family
annual,
picture.
yes,
Yeah, and minus a few people. Anyway, and oh my gosh, I thought we took the best picture ever, and I thought it was so cute, and I was so excited. And then I zoomed in on it before I posted it. Thank goodness. And my stomach was hanging out. I like had a shirt on. I'm like, I look like, what is it, Cousin Eddie? Like I had a fat roll sticking. I'm like, what? Where I didn't even feel like a breeze or anything. Like what? How in the world did that happen?
Next thing you know, she's on
No
a
one-
diet.
I photoshopped it. I was
Oh.
I'm like got that, and I don't know how to Photoshop. I don't know. I did the edit thing on my phone. I got the little marker thingy, and I was like scribbling it. Like luckily I had a black shirt. It's so bad.
So
Clearly I have no problem eating during the holidays. That was only the day after Thanksgiving.
well, you're still gorgeous. I didn't even notice. I
thank
didn't even notice in the picture.
You've
either.
always been like you seriously have always been my biggest supporter, my biggest fan. You always have I think you think that. I genuinely can feel that you think that. Like you always say that I'm gorgeous. You
Wow.
always think I'm sexy.
Yeah. Mike, but
Uh-oh.
in
Uh-oh.
all- no, no.
Uh-oh.
No,
Uh-oh.
no, hang on. Whoa.
Just kidding.
In all honesty, that's absolutely true. But where I draw the line, and our followers and fans need to hear this, where I draw the line is when it affects your health. And I mean that.
Yes.
When she's like coughing or hacking, or she suddenly starts getting sick every week, or whatever it is, I say, you can put on a few sexy curvy pounds, but I said when it affects your health, I'm going to step in, and
Yeah.
I do step in.
Yeah, you do.
And she ignores me and just keeps going, but I still
Oh
step
my
in.
gosh,
Just for the record, I
that's-
step in.
Okay, why? Why do you
Because
have to act
it's
like
open
that?
bar, I can do it.
No, the open bar does not mean hi. I'm J. Rob. I can make things up.
Oh,
Like, what
it
is
says
going
open.
on with you?
What does open mean?
Doesn't mean dishonesty. It means-
Dishonesty. I'm being honest.
No, I still.
I draw the line.
No.
My line in the sand.
No, it's so
It's
true.
when you don't feel good. When she
Um,
doesn't sleep good. When she goes, oh
okay.
my God.
You continue on.
So when she's suffering and struggling, and I say, oh, let me step in and save you. Because remember, I'm her knight in shining armor. And I have to ride in every now and then,
Just
scoop her up like a novella,
why don't you?
and just fireman's carry her off on the horse to safety.
Why don't you continue on? Tell her.
And you know,
viewers.
let me tell you something right here in the camera. You have to have
We want to know what
some
you
fun
think.
drinks. This is open bar. Hope you guys are having
the
open
straw
bar
to
at
your
home too.
mouth.
I can't even.
We want to know what you think. Like, do you feel like Americans are obsessed with dieting, and how do you navigate
Or
the holidays with
obsessed with food. Go ahead.
or obsessed with food? You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
This is your show. I'm
right.
just here. I don't know what
Welcome
I'm doing.
to J-Rob, the J-Rob Show. This is my sidekick, the little woman.
The next episode will be
Without me,
how do you navigate living with a mate
who's an idiot
No,
A
who
drunken
sucks
fool.
all the energy out of the room
and just sucks.
and takes over. You don't just suck. But
Very often. Anyway, I hope you're having fun out there. We are. We sure are, and we're so glad you're here. We're seriously crazy, and that's what's important about open bar is that we can have fun, we can tell what it is, but we still love each other at the end. Well, I still do, but I don't know if you'll still like me after this one. But will you?
yes, I like you.
Well, that look, you know, it might not see it on the camera. She gives me this look like, whoa, dude.
No, everybody saw the look.
Yeah, see? I told you they saw it. But anyway, we love you. Salute, and go ahead. She's going to
What
wind
he
it down
said.
now.
Yep. We'd love it if you liked our video and if you would
And?
subscribe.
And
please do. We love your comments. We love to hear what you have to say. And if you ever want to email us at openbar@jayrob.com. And it's all spelled out. Openbar at
JAYROBB. No, do it together. I was doing it with you.
Oh, you were?
Okay, let's do it again. Let's open bar at
JAYROBB.
Oh, wait. Open bar
Heck is
at JRob.
wrong?
Now, no, you have to tell them JRob, then you say spell it. Open bar at jrob.com, and that's JAYROBB.com.
Yum. Red Robin. Yum. We love you.
Oh, I love you, babe. Look how gorgeous he is.
Happy
Like, get up here.
holidays.
Turn your head this way. Look how gorgeous that
Okay,
is.
that was attractive. She just tongued me on camera. My mom's watching us.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to Open Bar,
Sorry,
Karen
Mom.
June. It's your son-in-law.
We love you.